It's a new year, a new season, and we are underway.
Really dominating fashion here today is going to win.
They're 3-4 for the final time.
Win number 1 on the season, only just barely.
He is going to win here at the Nazareth Speedway.
Wins the Emerson Electric 100k.
Gonna be Igor Barretto's gonna eke it out.
Cup Series champion is Shane Lake in the number 15.
Welcome to the NOFSRL.
For the second day in a row, the second time this weekend, we are here at the Watkins Glen International for a Cabela's Cup Series race. Now, with 8 races to go here in season number 3, we're here back at this in the Finger Lakes region of New York for this, the BodyArmor 500k here at the Watkins Glen International. After yesterday's BodyArmor Light 400k, it was a thrilling race, those 15 laps, totally unpredictable. But Trey Smith, despite the unpredictableness of the whole race, Trey Smith went and dominated that race, led 10 out of the 15 laps yesterday. And today for this 18-lapper, though he's starting 20th after his win yesterday and the inversion that resulted from that, he holds a 20-point lead in the standings ahead of Darian Arnsdorf. Trey Smith has 655 points towards the championship. He gained the maximum amount of points you could get in a single race yesterday at 48. Arnsdorf is 20 points behind. Sebastian Kukulon in third. He is 47 points behind. Brad Stover there, 4th in the standings. He is 63 behind. Sam Odoskin is 5th in points after yesterday. He is 69 points behind. Nice. Ben Crouch is 6th in the point standings. He is 73 behind. Brad Crawford is 75 behind. They're 7th in the standings. Roy Ribbleton, 8th in the standings, was 5th before yesterday, slipped back to 8th, but he is still 89 points out of the points lead. Beverly Creed up to 9th in the standings after yesterday from 11th, moved up within 94 points of the points lead, and Benny Watson rounds out the top 10. He is 94 points back of Trey Smith's points lead. It is going to be a thrilling one here, these 18 laps here at Watkins Glen, and we are ready to round off Super Glen Week here on the Trinity River Network. Let's go down trackside. We'll get you your starting lineup so we can get this show on the road. And the engines fire here at Watkins Glen. 42 going to roll off from the grid. It's Ben Grorich, who finished 20th yesterday, but due to the inversion, he starts on the pole today. Alongside him is the 35 of Andrew Miller. In row number 2, we find Nathan Stapleton in the 97. He is starting alongside Independence 500 winner Brad Crawford. In row number 3, we find RJ Rosero in the 13. He is starting alongside the 59 of Mitchell Collins. In row number 4, we find Keegan Thompson in the 46. He is starting this race alongside the 74 of Ben Crouch. And rounding out the top 10 there in row number 5, it's Trey Wright in the 90. He is starting alongside the 83 of Sam Odoskin, 5th place pointsman coming into this race. Arnsdorf finished outside the top 20 yesterday, so he starts in what I believe is the 26th position. There's Smith, finished 20th. 25th actually looks like. Yeah, 25th. Next to Dan Park there in the 22. But instead of 15 laps yesterday, we have 18 laps today. It is going to be an interesting one. That much is certain. We are more than ready to get it started here. But as they come around here through the boot, that turn 7 there is one of the most treacherous corners on this track, but nowhere near as treacherous as turn 8 here, where we saw a few cars go off in practice, and I ended up recording the BodyArmor Light 400k twice, so I think we had something like that happen in the first time I recorded it too, but the second time I don't remember it happening. But here today, 3 extra laps, these 3 extra opportunities for action to happen here, and we are more than ready to get it started here in the BodyArmor 500k here at Watkins Glen. Field gonna round turn 11, the final corner. And ladies and gentlemen, it's green flag racing time here at Watkins Glen, so let's get this show on the road. Whoa, Grorch and Miller getting together right away coming out of turn number 1. Grorch stretching ahead for the time being, but Miller's not going to give it up there. Next to him, side by side up through the S's they go. The 35 poking out front for the moment, but here comes the 78 of Grorch back at him. Side by side down the back straightaway. Crawford and Stapleton in behind them. They're side by side as well, as we see Arnsdorf on the inside of a few cars already trying to work his way up through the field. He actually slipped back on the start of this, so he's going to look to recover here. But ahead is Grorch has cleared Andrew Miller for first, Miller second, Crawford third, Stapleton and Collins. That's the top 5 right now here at Watkins Glen. Then Ben Crouch, Sam Badoskin, and 3 wide further behind Riley Snare, Logan Alexander, and Chris Reynolds. 3 wide in turn number 7. Boy, that got awful tight with the 2 uncharted drivers in your Charlotte winner earlier this season. Gracious goodness. But now up front for the race lead. Here we go again. Andrew Miller on the inside of Grorch. Going to push him wide coming out of turn number 8. And Miller is going to clear for the race lead as they head up the hill into turn number 9. Grorch trying to hold off the 07 of Brad Crawford. But Crawford's going to go around on the outside of turn 10. He might take that spot away as Crawford runs wide in the corner. Yes, he will take that spot away, but will Grorch run wide in the corner? Yes, he will, and slam the outside turn 11 wall. Miller leads lap number 1. Crawford is second. And looks like... oh, no! Hard into the end of the pit wall there. Jacob Thibodeau and Darian Arnsdorf is in that as well. In car number 14, second place pointsman coming in. And this whole weekend, what a disaster for Darian Arnsdorf. He is now going to be out of the BodyArmor 500k. The man who came into the weekend leading the point standings, lost it yesterday, and he's going to fall back even more now after that incident. Unbelievable situation here now in the Cabela's Cup Series point standings. But now we'll take a look at where Trey Smith is on the track right now. There he is going at it with Logan Alexander. That is for 14th on track right now. So what an impact this could have on the championship standings. Darian Arnsdorf is going to lose so many points now. And Kukulon could even jump him. He came in 47 points back. There's Kukulon in the 12th position, working on Keegan Thompson now. But further ahead, there's Andrew Miller and Brad Crawford. It's first and second. Grorch has fallen to 5th. Collins is 3rd. Stapleton's 4th. Stapleton runs Collins off the track, headed up the hill into turn number 9, trying to work the outside in that corner. Stapleton looking to do what Crawford did to Grorch a couple laps ago. He's looking to make the outside of 10 work. 3 wide again, a little further behind. Kukulon, Snare, and Thompson. Kukulon runs the widest out of them all. Thompson, if he's still stuck at the outside of that 26, could run the turn wide here. Kukulon, no chance to run it wide there. He got a good turn 11, and behind Ethan Lewis into the front straightaway wall after contact, looked like with Charlie Davenport. So more actions going on back there, and there's Arnsdorf still over in turn 5. It doesn't look like he's not gonna finish last. That would be Jacob Thibodeau that's gonna finish last in this, but 16 laps early for them. That is just terrible, terrible luck for Darian Arnsdorf to come in with a points lead after the thrilling win, the thrilling last lap pass at Armory Digital, and just to have this weekend go the way it has for him. Don't know what this is going to do to his championship chances, but we will see how the rest of the season goes for him. They'll go around here, and of course, after this Watkins Glen Super Glen Week, we are heading to Indianapolis next for the first ever running of the Brickyard 400. We've never gone to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway before. We went to IRP in Season 1. That was dominated by Jarrett Talmadge. He led 72 of the 75 laps. We were going to go to IRP again in Season 2, but that ended up on the chopping block for when we shortened the season by 10 races. It was going to be 30. It ended up being 20. And Crawford's going to go wide and slam the wall. Stapleton might catch up to him as they've come out of turn number 11. And Moore getting together behind. Thompson, what a save out of turn 11 there after contact with Riley Snare. Ben Grurich came down the pit road. And almost 4 wide coming out of turn 11 there. Nicholas, Robinson, Ribbleton, and Vargas in that cluster there. There's Ethan Lewis also on the pit road after sustaining his damage on the front straightaway the last time through. Miller is now almost 2 seconds ahead of Brad Crawford after he went wide and slammed the turn 11 wall. Did not see a gap this big yesterday in the early goings here, but they are going up and hitting that turn 11 wall way more than they did yesterday. Take a look at what your top 10 looks like right now. Andrew Miller obviously is leading. Brad Crawford second. Nathan Stapleton third. Mitchell Collins there in fourth. RJ Rosero is going to muscle Ben Crouch out of the way there for fifth. So move Crouch back to sixth. Samad Oskin seventh. Trey Wright in the eighth position there. Brad Stover is ninth. And Sebastian Kukulon rounds out the top 10 at least for the moment. Oskin looking to run around Crouch, who's looking to get underneath Rosero, and he's going to muscle the 13 back out of the way for that fifth position. Or will he? Yeah, he's going to have a chance here. There's a left-hander coming up right here. Rosero's going to run wide at 10, and Crouch will take that position back. Stapleton's going to run wide and just miss slamming the wall. Crouch and Oskin, though, are both going to slam that wall. And Rosero will get by for fifth. Move Crouch to sixth, Wright to seventh, Oskin to eighth, I believe. And, are they going to turn right? Around goes Trey Wright and Samad Oskin at turn 1. Holy smokes. Samad Oskin, the fifth place points man, has now found trouble. And Trey Wright, who came in 33rd, desperately needing a season rebound, is in that as well. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, up front, Andrew Miller unchallenged as all of this happens behind him. 2.37 seconds over Brad Crawford. Trey Smith, who came into this race the points leader, 16th on track right now. Or possibly in the 17th position as he's working on Beverly Creed in the 32. Like yesterday when he won, his car looks like it just rolled off the hauler so far. Having one of the cleaner drives of the race so far. By the way, Ethan Lewis is still on the pit road, but his teammate Andrew Miller still leading this thing as everybody else comes up the hill up into turn number 9. Cologne holding off Charlie Davenport for the time being. Davenport now having a challenge from Eric Monaco there in the 55. Haven't talked about him much this weekend. Here he is trying to march his way up through the field in that Dracoan Racing Enterprises number 55 Dodge. Through turn 11 they go again. Looks like Trey Wright's going to go wide and hit that wall. Just add insult to injury after having spun out at turn 1 the last time around. And now Trey Smith is going to get spun out in turn 1. Beverly Creed into the back of the 77, and around goes the points leader. Boy, this could be good for Sebastian Kukulon. Came in 47 points behind. Kukulon is 7th on track, at least after the last time through. Here he is, battling Brad Stover there for 7th. The two uncharted cars side by side right behind them. It's like Brad Stover's going to get muscled out of the way, and now he's going to have to get stuck side by side with Logan Alexander as Kukulon stretches ahead of this battle. And yes, that is indeed what has happened. Up front, it is still Andrew Miller leading. His lead's up to 3 seconds now, as this tremendous battle happens throughout the rest of the field. But unbelievable, the top two in the championship have both found trouble in this race now. And Trey Smith all the way back to... See, that's Roy Rebleton. That would be... 36th or 37th. So... Goodness gracious. I think Andrew Miller just went up and slapped the wall. Nope, he got close, but he didn't quite slam it. Oh, more trouble in the front straightaway. The two Uncharted drivers now in trouble. Logan Alexander and Riley Snare both going around now. Turn 11. Goodness gracious. Nobody else going to be involved in this. Everyone else will get by. But that's not going to help Trey Smith in the 77. Who sits on track right now in the 36th position. While Darian Arnsdorf is out of the race, Kukulon is going to close in mightily on that points gap. Kukulon's probably going to overtake Arnsdorf at this point in the standings, but I don't think he's going to overtake Smith. But that's going to bring Stover, Osgen, Crouch, Crawford, not Ribbleton, but maybe even Beverly Creed in the 32. That's going to bring a lot of these guys and gals back in to this championship discussion. Man, everything is getting turned on its head here in the BodyArmor 500k. We're not even halfway through this race. We've seen so many cars in trouble already, primarily at turn 11 and turn 1. What is it about the home stretch that is being so much trouble for these guys? Meanwhile, up here for the third position, Stapleton and Mitchell Collins going at it. Stapleton's going to stretch ahead of the 59 of Collins. Andrew Miller, another smooth exit off turn 11. Brad Crawford's going to go wide and hit the wall again. That's not the first time he's done that. You can see the damage even before he went in. And Rosero and Crouch. Crouch is going to hit the end of the wall, and that's going to be the end of his race. Oh my goodness, the 6th place points man as guys and gals are trying to come down the pit road. He overran it, couldn't get the wheel turned back to the left, and he slams the end of the pit wall and is out of the BodyArmor 500k. But more cars coming on the pit road. Logan Alexander, Charlie Davenport, and Trey Wright coming down the pit road. The first takers here of either 1 or 2 cycle we're going to see here at Watkins Glen in this race. With this being 3 laps longer, it just makes the fuel discussion and the tire discussion all the more uncertain as you see Alexander Rowe and Brad Stover going at it there for 7th on track. Give it to Alexander Rowe. Comes in 13th in the point standings. He's another one of those guys who's going to close in on Trey Smith and Darian Arnsdorf after this race, with everything getting turned on its head. Move Kukulon, by the way, up to the 5th position now. But Andrew Miller leading this thing by 4.19 seconds ahead of Brad Crawford. And more than likely going to see some of these guys come down the pit road this time. They waited till about lap 9-10 to come down en masse yesterday. And we'll see. Miller's going to go wide, and he's going to slam the wall now. He has his Watkins Glen mark on him now, like a lot of other guys and gals do now here in the BodyArmor 500k. Crawford went a little wide at turn 11, but that's going to be enough to get Mitchell Collins by him. Collins up to the 2nd position, and another one coming down the pit road. That's RJ Rosero in the 13, coming down onto the pit road. And I would assume we're going to see everybody come down in mass this next time by, which would make them good to the end, because we'd be just past halfway. They'd be good by about a lap. So we'll see how everybody is able to, like, maybe if they wouldn't be good to the end, we'll see how they're able to conserve. We'll see who's going to be able to make it home. It looks like it's going to be another Road America situation, potentially. We see more and more cars pitting on the last lap, and it opens up for a surprise winner. But now the gap 5 seconds just about over now. Mitchell Collins and Brad Crawford, Nathan Stapleton. Crawford and Collins continuing this battle for second as Collins runs turn 7 wide. Here comes Crawford once again. Not only is that allowing Andrew Miller to pull away, that could allow Sebastian Kugelon to close in. He's not battling anybody right now. He's just trying to run fast laps. But now coming around, we're going to be halfway done here in the BodyArmor 500k, and I presume we're going to see some cars come down the pit road here. We'll wait and see what Andrew Miller is going to do. Yes, he is going to come down the pit road. He makes it in safe, and Mitchell Collins, Brad Crawford. Collins, is he going to make it? No, he's not. Oh, Crawford slams the wall. He overran the entry, and he's going to be out of it now. That's the second driver we've seen that's gone in and slammed the end of the pit wall. Guys are having so much trouble here in this race. Parrish and Nicholas getting together there. Parrish tried to get down the pit road, ran the turn wide, and couldn't get down there. We saw that happen on a couple of occasions yesterday. But now Mitchell Collins is leading the BodyArmor 500k here at Watkins Glen. We are going to go ahead and hop on board with Benny Watson here in the 53, three-time winner this season. And folks, let's crank it up here at Watkins Glen. As Mitchell Collins comes around turn 11 this time, ideally he's going to be good to make it to the end. He's going to go ahead and come down the pit road. Christopher Reynolds is going to just miss the end of the pit wall. Monaco, Miles coming in. Fragniti going to come in. Silver Point. Oh, man, they got to get it down single file here. They got to be careful coming in. Sheesh. Dangerous pit road entry here, apparently. A lot more dangerous than it was last season and even yesterday. Goodness, don't know why these guys and gals are having so much trouble getting down onto the pit road. Kugelon going to run out of turn 11 here. Is he going to beat everybody off the pit road here? This could potentially be for the race lead. Here comes Mitchell Collins off of the pit road. And a very, very slow exit there for Mitchell Collins. And Sebastian Kugelon, I believe, is going to move into the race lead here in the BodyArmor 500k. The question is, will he be good to make it to the end? Alexander Rowe into second position. Mitchell Collins there third. So Collins is still very much there if these top two cannot make it to the end of this race. And they're very much tightly packed on each other. Where did Andrew Miller end up? There he is. Kanan Biller, the 95. That's who he's behind right now. Last time through, Biller was 20th. That is obviously not akin to what the standings are right now, because Biller gained a few spots whilst everybody else was coming down or coming off of the pit road. So I believe, looks like Miller's going to be in the 11th position right now, as Biller and Ben Young going to go at it there for 9th. And Biller, the defending Cabela's Cup Series champion, has a bit of a sophomore slump this season, more than a bit. He's outside the top 30 in the point standings. Coming into this race, 38th, third worst out of the full-time drivers. But he's looking to have some momentum here coming out of Watkins Glen to salvage what has been a atrocious season for him. Meanwhile, Sebastian Kukulon coming out of turn number 11. And is he the leader? We're going to find out right now, as Collins looks like he may have gone up and at least kissed the wall. Thompson, Reynolds, and Stapleton in a hectic battle back there. And yes, Kukulon is leading by almost 3 seconds over Alexander Rowe. Mitchell Collins about 5 seconds back, as this ridiculous race for 4th on back continues on here in the BodyArmor 500k. This is one of those times where I wish we could do a split screen here in NR. I wish NR had that feature built in, because we'd show up front and then we'd show all this stuff going on behind. It's just incredible, the kind of racing we are seeing for 4th on back. It's been a bit of a runaway up front, that much is for certain, but you see Andrew Miller charging in. He's trying to work his way back up through the field. He got around the... Oh, trouble in turn 5. Ben Young, Keegan Thompson go around, slamming into the guardrail there. The fastest exit corner of the racetrack. And Eric Monaco, Ryan Durrani going to get involved there as well in the follow-up. Down into turn 6, and Monaco's going to go around now and slam into the tire barrier. So that's 3 more drivers that have found trouble here at Watkins Glen. Turn 5, the fastest turn of the racetrack. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. It looks like, I think it was maybe Young tried to crowd Thompson or something, or Thompson tried to crowd Young, and they've gone around again coming out of turn 8. Park, Durrani in it again. Huge damage to Josiah Robinson. And there's a humongous pileup right there. A lot of cars sustaining some serious damage in that one. Nathan Smith in the 84 involved. Smoke billowing out of that 84. Oh, but now at turn 10. Could be a little payback there, maybe. Ben Young and Logan Alexander. And now there's more. It all bogs up with the rest of the field. I guess everyone's just starting to lose patience here at Watkins Glen. But up front, Kukulon, he has room to be patient, and he has reason to be. He's trying to conserve everything to make it all the way home here at Watkins Glen. He wants to make very certain that he can make it to the end of this 18-lap race. Runs a little wide there coming out of 6. Rowe and Collins taking advantage of the rumble strip there. As running down to turn 6, Miles and Stapleton in a frantic battle here for that 7th position. Give it to Stapleton. Well, no, maybe give it to Miles here as they come down to turn 7. Trying to slide that 97 up, and around will go the 25 of Owen Miles for that 7th position. Beautiful piece of passing there from Thatcher Cohen Racing Enterprises driver. But now as they come down the hill once again, Benny Watson on the inside of Thompson. That is for, I believe, 15th on track. But up front, it is Kukulon taking 5 laps to go here at Watkins Glen. Logan Alexander coming off of the pit road. Dan Park out there doesn't even hardly look like a race car anymore. Front and rear missing on that 22, but he is still out there running laps. What persistence by that Blackout Motorsports team. I mean, what do they have to lose at this point? They are last place of the full-time drivers. Last place of the full-timers, I should say. just been a terrible, terrible season for a rookie season for Dan Park. 0 wins, 1 top 5, 4 top 10s. Well, actually, he's not the bottom of the... I take it back. He's not the bottom of the full-timers anymore. It's Christian Vargas. Christian Vargas actually fell behind him after yesterday's miscue in the BodyArmor Light 400k. But now Vargas, the tables are turned now as Vargas is 10th. Make it 9th as he gets around Sam at Osgen. So it will be Park at the bottom of the full-time standings coming out of this one. Now further behind as everyone is still clustered together as side by side for second. Collins looking to get around Alexander Rowe for second. There's a left-hander coming up that could favor Rowe if Collins doesn't get by right here. It will favor Rowe, but now there's a right-hander coming up as Sebastian Kugelan has gotten around Logan Alexander. He's going to go up and hit the outside turn 11 wall. Is that going to allow Collins and Rowe to close in? Now looking at 4 laps to go. There wasn't a scratch on that 82 until just then, but so many drivers have gone and slid into that turn 11 wall. Goodness gracious. Here's Trey Smith. He almost got a piece of it there. But a Trey Smith, after having spun out at turn 1 off the front bumper of Beverly Creed, up to the 13th position now. Great recovery by that Arctic Racing driver, and he, I don't think Kugelan's going to gain very much if things stay the way they are right now. He may get within, see, he's 47 coming into this race. Trey Smith's 13th on track right now, so 47 points behind. Ideally, Kugelan's going to have led the most laps at the end of this race if he keeps going. But I don't know. Collins is starting to close in a little bit. He went wide at turn 7 there. We'll see if that 59 can close in. Meanwhile, back here for 8th, Christian Vargas has gotten around the 97 and Ethan Stapleton. Move Stapleton back to 9th. Osgen and Nicholas side by side there for 10th. Right now, Sam at Osgen has it. There are very, very few cars in this race that don't have at least a scratch on them. If any. But Titan Nicholas will get by Sam at Osgen for the race lead, as now 3 laps remaining here at Watkins Glen. Now Dan Park coming down the pit road again. Looks like something happened to Charlie Davenport in the 19. Humongous damage on that Mopar Dodge. So many incidents in this race now that will make Charlie Davenport we're going to have only 32 cars on the track now once Davenport does fall out of the race officially, because Trey Wright apparently also fell out of this. We'll check back up with the leaders here, as there's Kugelan and Collins trying to close in. Rowe in 3rd. Reynolds and Miller occupying 4th and 5th right now, but also getting preoccupied with things there as they are side by side battling with Dan Park. Dan Park is a lap down right now, after having sustained serious damage in an earlier incident in this race. Oh my gracious goodness. Turn 5 again, another incident there. Chase Buck involved. And looks like Ben Young may have a piece of that also. And Sophia Fragniti, the 38. And Christian Vargas in the 1. Sam Osgen in the 83 is on the pit road as well. We had another big pile up there in turn 5 as Kugelan looks like he slammed the turn 11 wall. Boy, that's going to allow Collins to close in now. 1.4 seconds the difference. Collins looked like he was going to have a shot to win yesterday. Will he have a shot to win today? Both of these drivers have one win in their careers between them, both coming this season. Kukulon's at Gateway. Collins is at Richmond. Rowe, 5 seconds behind, has never won in the Cabela's Cup Series, and it doesn't look like he's going to have a shot to win it today. Unless something happens to the top two. Collins runs it wide through turn 6. Kukulon got a good line there on the inside of 6, but what about turn 7 here? Looks like they both ran it a little wide. Collins may have ran it a little wider. But we're coming to the white flag this time, and we also got to make sure that these guys are good to make it to the end on fuel, because Kukulon pit earlier than everybody else did. He came down with that first group. Collins came down with the second. So we're coming around for the white flag this time. Will either one of them have to come down the pit road? Is this going to be another Road America situation, or will we have a battle to the end? Kukulon on the outside of 11. He's going to slide wide and hit the wall. Collins is going to go by him at the white flag lap. We're on the last lap. But they'll make it to the end on fuel. The question is now, will Kukulon be able to close back in on Collins? That would have been the finish right there if it was 17 laps. Reminiscent of the Lake Effect Ice Cream 400 last fall in what was then called the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. But here we still have one more lap. So we could potentially see what happens if there was one more lap after the fact. Into turn 5 they go. Collins ran it a little wide there. Kukulon about the same line. Just trying to run it smooth. Another even line there through turn 6. Now down into the boot they go. About a half-second gap, it looks like. Collins a little wider through 7. Kukulon may not be out of this yet. He still looks like he's within arm's reach. Boy, Collins got a good exit there out of 7. What about 8 here? Kukulon. Oh, it's gonna be close here. He may have a shot. It might be Collins' race though. 2 turns remaining here at Watkins Glen. Collins looks to be a little slower. He may be out of fuel. Is Collins going to make it around? Final corner here. Turn 11. He's going to make it home, and Kukulon's going to slide wide. Mitchell Collins wins the BodyArmor 500k here at Watkins Glen. His second career Cabela's Cup Series victory. Kukulon second, Rowe third, Reynolds fourth. Miller will come back for a 5th place. Biller 6th. Miles 7th. Nicholas 8th. Trey Smith gonna come home in the 9th position after struggle early in this race. He'll come home with a top 10. And closing out the top 10 was Nathan Stapleton. How about that at the line there? Watson and Stover getting around Logan Alexander on the last corner. And now this for 21st. Give it to Rosero over Cologne. Now Johnson and Thompson coming around. It's going to be Johnson over Thompson over Ribbleton. But Mitchell Collins by 1.5 seconds over Sebastian Kukulon wins the BodyArmor 500k here at Watkins Glen. A ridiculously crazy race we saw here today. So much happened in this, and we're gonna go back and take a look at all that we can in a second, because just so many incidents happened in this race. Carnage Cam might be a little long here, folks. But then after that, we will take a look at your finishing results and then the point standings and everything like that. But my goodness, the top two in the championship found trouble. Arnsdorf right away found trouble. And then Trey Smith got spun out at turn 1. But he recovered for 9th, and he is definitely going to keep the points lead. Kugelon might overtake Arnsdorf in the standings here. He might move to 2nd. But Trey Smith is going to have a hefty points lead coming out of the BodyArmor 500k. Headed into the Brickyard 400 next week. But here comes Collins down the pit road. A 2-time Cabela's Cup Series winner now. And he becomes the 6th different multiple win driver in season number 3. He joins Trey Smith, Darian Arnsdorf, Samit Osgen, Ben Crouch, and Benny Watson in that regard. But now, let us go back and take a look at the incidents that occurred here in the BodyArmor 500k. Coming to the end of lap number 1, here's Nathan Smith into the back of Jacob Thibodeau. Down into Arnsdorf they go, and into the end of the pit wall. Thibodeau hits it the driver's side, and Arnsdorf sustains serious damage on the front of that 14 car. Knocked him out of the race immediately. He comes home with a 41st place finish here in the BodyArmor 500k. So here we are at full speed as they rounded turn 11. Arnsdorf on the inside. There's Smith in the back of Thibodeau. Down in the wall they go. Very hard hit for both drivers, Arnsdorf and Thibodeau. Thibodeau falling out of the race immediately. Arnsdorf made one more circuit around the track before he pulled into his stall, and the race ended for him. Now coming to the end of lap 2, a minor incident here with Ethan Lewis and Charlie Davenport getting together sends Lewis down into the front stretch wall pretty hard. Coming to the end of lap number 4, Daisy Johnson went for a spinner out of turn 11 after contact there with Kip Silverpoint, sends the 15 around. And Will Parrish going to make a little bit of contact there on the front of the 0 and send Daisy Johnson spinning around like a record, baby. But she gets it back under control and gets the car back going. And by the way, Ethan Lewis, right after hitting the front stretch wall, he went down to turn 1 and blew up. So no, that he didn't finish good in this race at all. But Daisy Johnson gets the car back going and continued on her way. And well, that wasn't the last one. Let's take a look at the next one. Probably the biggest incident of the race right here that ended up not really meaning a whole lot, because he was running worse than what he finished. Trey Smith off the nose of Beverly Creed, and around went the 77, but he recovered greatly and finished inside the top 10 here in the BodyArmor 500k. So here was Ben Crouch trying to get down the pit road. Rosero went too wide to even have a prayer of making the pit road, but Crouch tried to turn at the last second to get away from the wall, but ran right into the end of the attenuator, and that was knocked the 74 out of the race. And here is Brad Crawford, eventual winner of this race. Mitchell Collins overran the pit road, also just missed hitting the end of the pit wall, but Crawford almost got into the pit road there, but hit the attenuator also, and that knocked the 07 car out of this race. This was headed off into turn number 5, the fastest turn of the racetrack. Thompson washes up into Young, and around went Young and Thompson. Into the guardrail they went, and with nowhere to go, came in Eric Monaco, and Ryan Durrani hits him in the backside right there. And up ahead of this, in turn 6, Monaco turns down on Durrani and goes up into the tire barrier. A little further ahead, though, over in turn 8, Stapleton's going to run the turn wide as Christopher Reynolds did up front, and then Nathan Smith gets into the back of the 97, Dan Park nowhere to go, and then coming in behind the entire of the rest of the field, Durrani hammered the back of Dan Park there. The 52 of Josiah Robinson was involved. And you saw Nathan Smith, the humongous damage on that 84 there. That knocked him out of the race as well. Here comes Thompson on the inside of Davenport. Leans on him. And out of turn 6 they go. They go around. Trey Wright involved. Davenport, Ribbleton involved. And that was really the whole incident there. Everyone else got slowed up and got right on by, but 4 more cars that found trouble in this race right there. Here was Kip Silverpoint getting into the back of Charlie Davenport, and Daisy Johnson, innocent bystander there, gets clipped by the sliding Davenport, and into the guardrail they go at the end of turn 5 there. Just, oh my goodness. But you believe it or not, we're not to the end of this yet. By far, probably the most violent incident we've seen on a road course here in the Cabela's Cup Series. Here's Nathan Stapleton going to the outside of Titan Nicholas Osgen into the back of Christian Vargas. Fragniti on the inside takes the dive bomb, slides up on the 83, and they all come together there in the middle of 5. Fragniti head on into the catch fence. Osgen and Fragniti both go upside down. Osgen gets back on his wheels after 1 revolution, and Fragniti goes for a ferocious turnover there just after the turn. And here, by the way, is apparently how Chase Buck got involved in that. Just before Fragniti teleported away, he hit her and sent her just into a frightening pirouette. And that does it for Carnage Cam here, coming out of the BodyArmor 500k. I am doing the finishing of this video a little differently here. You see the finishing results right there. Mitchell Collins, Sebastian Kukulon, Alexander Rowe, Chris Reynolds, Andrew Miller, Kanan Biller, Owen Miles, Titan Nicholas, Trey Smith, and Nathan Stapleton. That is your top 10 here coming out of Watkins Glen. I'm showing it to you like this because the game crashed while I was trying to finish up the Carnage Cam, but we got all the results, we got the replay saved and everything, so that's all good. But hey, congratulations, Mitchell Collins, on your 2nd career Cabela's Cup Series victory, and we are going to go ahead now and take a look at your driver's point standings, your owner's point standings, and we'll wrap it all up here for Super Glen Week on the Trinity River Network. Y'all take care, stay safe, and have a good one. Welcome to the NOFSRL.